All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. All right, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakathum. Okay, so pretty much, you know what I'm saying, we told you, all right, we told you that this was coming. We told you, all right, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, we told you that this was coming, all right? That the apostle Tahar, all right, had rightly through the Spirit coined this year 2026 the year of apostasy, sellouts, and agents. Okay, and that is indeed what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with apostasy, sellouts, and agents. All right, and the sellouts and the agents are being made known more and more in these final moments of this rulership, man. All right, we are at the end, and this is exactly what the scriptures had warned us of. What the prophets, you see what I'm saying? What the apostles, you know what I'm saying, had warned about in the scriptures, man. So let's get this in the book of Ezekiel, because we told you that the first thing to go, all right, when somebody sells out in this truth, when someone sells out, the first thing that goes is the name of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And you got all these jakes out here saying, well, why does the name matter? Why is this so important? Why do you guys keep going on and on about the names? The reason why is because we know that they know, all right, that the scriptures say clearly, all right, that there is no other name that the Israelites can be saved by. You see what I'm saying? And I gave you a short Hebrew crash course, you know what I'm saying, just basic Hebrew, going into the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, just to break it down, the name Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, all right, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his name is Yahweh. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exists, all right, he is. You see? Yah is not his name. All right? Just because it's written in the scriptures one time does not make it his name. You see? Yah simply means he. All right? Yahweh is his name. He is. There's a future, there's a past, present connotation that is attached to that name. He is, all right, he is the only one that is the Ancient of Days. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, all right, he has a beginning, all right, and he is the final, all right, the final conclusion. His name is Yahweh Shai. Yah meaning he, Yahweh Shai meaning deliverer, all right, or deliverance. He is the deliverer. You see? And so when you see these camps out here, when you see these different quote unquote leaders amongst Israel. When they start to abandon the true name of the Lord, all right, that's when you know that there's a sellout, that they have sold out. It has happened over and over. All right, was it Tazadakia? All right, Tazadakia. He was one of those who were among the first to abandon that name. All right, Bishop Nathaniel has abandoned that name when he himself, all right, taught that name. Okay, and he taught that name perfectly many years ago, decades ago, man. All right, who else? One body in the Yahawashi. All right, one body in Yahawashi is no longer called one body in Yahawashi. It's called one body now. You see? One body. And so they no longer attach themselves to that name. They no longer teach that name. As a matter of fact, they no longer teach out in the highways and byways. So clearly, you know what I'm saying? When you see these jokers abandon the names of our Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, that's when you know that the sheep are being led astray, all right, behind the scenes. And the true prophets have to steer the sheep in the right direction with the doctrine, the correct doctrine. All right. Yahawashi said to Apostle Peter 3 times. He said, "If you love me, feed my sheep." You see, but it has to be with the correct doctrine, man. If this thing is not rooted in the correct doctrine, then there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about, man. All right? And your doctrine is false. So let's get this in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22. All right, verse 25. Lord willing, I'm not gonna make this too long, man. But I have to speak on this. All right, got to speak on this. It says there is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law, and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane, neither have they showed difference between the clean and the unclean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. To get dishonest gain. You see what I'm saying? To get dishonest gain. That's what this is all about, man. Out of this dude, all right, Deacon Hakah, out of his own lips, he said, if I wanted to make money, if I really wanted to make money, I could just do the Christian thing. I could just say that all nations can make it. If I really wanted to make money. And as we can see throughout these past months, all right, the sudden and abrupt change is very telling. You see? But what did Yahawashi say? He said that you can't serve two masters, man. You see? You cannot serve two masters. Let me see, where is that? Got my papers all messed up. Pages is all bent. Salakia, where is it? I believe it's in Matthew, the 6th chapter. All right. So let's start at verse 19. All right. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. All right. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? All right. And this is, this could be said in a broader sense, all right, outside of just the individual. But if you're a leader, all right, if you're a leader, like the scriptures say, the ruler of the city, for the ruler, or who the ruler of the city is, so are his officers, all right, and those that are within him, those that are within the city, like the inhabitants. You see what I'm saying? So as the ruler is, so are they who follow him. As the leader is, so are his followers. Okay? If you can catch that. So if his eye is full of darkness, okay, as you can see on the screen, you know what I'm saying? If his eye is full of darkness, all right, how much more the congregation that he's following, that he's leading? Okay? Verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. All right? All right, and when you go into that word for mammon, it goes into riches. All right, your riches. You see, I believe the word there is aram. Aram. Let me see if I got that right. Let me see. Bear with me. All right, Salakia for that. Let's go to the word there for mammon is strong G 3126 mammonas. All right, mammonas. So let me see. Mammonas, it says wealth, confidence, personified. Mammonas, avarice, that's a good one. All right, avarice. When you go into avarice, is going into extreme, what's the word? Hoarding. You know what I'm saying? Right, where you have to get more and more. So that's avarice. It says treasure, riches, where it is personified and opposed to God. Mammon in the New Testament is commonly thought to mean money, material wealth, or any entity that promises wealth, and is associated with the greedy pursuit of gain. Like the scriptures say, all right, in the book of Sirach, that riches are not comely for a niggard. Riches are not comely for a niggard, man. And a niggard means one that is greedy. One that is greedy of gain. You see? So let's go back. All right, so like I said, clearly this is about money, man. He wants that filthy lucre. He wants that filthy lucre, man. Teaching things that should not be taught. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not sound doctrine. What does the scriptures tell us? The scriptures tell us that the elect will call upon his holy name and think upon his name in the land of their captivities. Well, if you're telling us that the very name that we're supposed to call on is the name that these Edomites done chugged down our throats for hundreds of years, if you're telling us that that's the answer, nigga, I know that you sold out. I know you sold out. You see what I'm saying? And the Lord's got something crazy. You like to drive in something crazy. Well, the Lord's got something crazy coming for your ass. He's got something crazy coming for you. Let me see. All right, so this is Acts. All right, Acts chapter 4 and let's start at verse 16. Start at verse 15. Acts 4 and 15, it says, "But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, saying, What shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle had been done by them is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it." All right, we cannot deny this. It says, but that is spread no further among the people. Let us straitly threaten them, that they speak henceforth to no man in this name. You see? So you understand, you know what I'm saying? There's power that's attached to that. You know what I'm saying? If you can't profess that, if you can't proclaim that, then you have no power within yourself, man. You see what I'm saying? You have no power to lean on. The scriptures say, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there's no light in them. You see? And there is no light within these sellouts, man. Continue in verse 18. "And they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name of Yahawashi." You see? And it's not hard to go into the scriptures and go into the Lashon Kodash, the actual Hebrew, to break down the names. It's not hard. All right? Trying to think of the other precept that I'm thinking about. Let me see if I can look this up real quick. All right, Acts 4 and 11. It says, "This is the stone which was set at naught of your builders, which is become the head of the corner. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved." You see what I'm saying? There's no other name, man. All right? Let's do this. Let's see. Was it in John? Let's go to John. All right, and you know, it may be very disappointing to many, you know what I'm saying, to see how these jokers who once taught the truth correctly have fallen this far. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's a major a major disappointment, but it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. All right. You got to have the mindset in this truth of better him than me. You know what I'm saying? Better her than me. I'd rather you be a bug out than me. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be you got to be selfish in this thing, man. For real. You got to be selfish in this thing, because that's the only way that's going to get you through this. All right? If you're sitting here thinking like, "Oh, we got to save all of Israel." All right, that's the only way we're going to get all of Israel. No, you don't understand the Lord's will. You don't understand. All right? John chapter 17. All right? John chapter 17 and verse 9, it says, let's go up. John chapter 17, verse 6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. Now have they known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. You know? So it's all about the correct doctrine. All right? We don't get to just twist things however we want to twist them. All right? But like I said, the Lord's got something truly devastating coming to not just Dika Hakah, all right, but former Chief High Priest Alazar, Brother Hassad, you know what I'm saying? Bishop Jephthah, you see, Bishop Nathaniel, General Yohana, Priest Dabak, all these false prophets, all right, and the list goes on and on, man. All these false prophets who continue to go against the true doctrine, who continue to not teach the correct prophecies, you know what I'm saying? All right, the correct breakdown of these prophecies to edify the sheep, to warn the sheep. They're gonna face dire consequences, man. If you're sitting here going against the doctrine concerning the MOTB written of in Revelation 13 and 16, if you're going against the names, all right, the correct names of Yahweh and Yahushai, you see what I'm saying? If you're going against those true names, all right, you out of there, man. You out of there. And the Lord's going to end you. All right, but I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Didn't want to make that too long. All right, this has been your brother, Zachariah Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.